pretty comfy.
It's been a while since we've been at my house to record.
I know, it has been a while.
Getting some flashbacks. Yeah.
Pork chops and applesauce.
Oh God, can we not?
Warp!
You bring up that one.
It's one of the only ones I remember from the catchphrases.
Oh God, what was that one even about?
Betty Spaghetti in a beauty school.
Yeah,
essentially.
That's basically it. Yeah,
Oh man, I gotta pull up that episode.
I don't remember the name of it.
Oh, I have it saved somewhere. I can pull it up.
Terrible. That's what it was.
All right, guys.
It was called Terrible.
Welcome to the 102 Cast, episode 9. This episode, we're going to be watching Boku no Hero Academia. It's an anime on my good list. I can't recommend it more.
You said this was the top one on your good list as well.
I mean, I did a thing where I kind of had the worst good, the best good, the worst, and the best, worst kind of deal.
Okay.
Best, worst.
Best, worst.
I'd like to see the best, worst. This is the best, though, right?
Yeah, this is the best. For those of you who don't know, here at the 102 Cast, we, me, myself, Mike over here, and Steve over there, all compiled a big list of movies, television shows, and anime. We broke it into 17 good and 17 bad each, and each week we have a random one we watch. And like I said, this week, there's a little anime called Boku no Hero. It's actually really popular right now.
Right.
It really blew up. I read the manga back before it was an anime, and I got really excited for the anime adaptation.
Right.
And I couldn't be more proud. They did it a real good justice.
All right, so they were very solid with it. That's
fantastic.
Yeah. That's good. There's so much that when people do something like that, it's terrible.
Oh yeah, you always got to worry.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. It's good. I'm very excited for getting to it today. I can't wait to watch. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm like, words. I don't.
It's all right. It's been
all right, Steve. Do you want to start off with your week?
Sure. I can start off with my week. What did I do this week? So we watched Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Oh boy!
Which the movie, not the animated
Which
series. One? Pet Detective, the first one.
Okay.
Because I don't actually know if I'd ever actually seen it.
Really?
I don't think I ever did.
What
not all the way
are
through.
closer than they appear.
Yeah. And I'm surprised, after watching it now, I'm kind of surprised that I was allowed to watch it as a kid. I guess technically I watched the next one, When Nature Calls, as a kid more than anything else, but
okay.
Kind of surprised I was allowed to watch Ace Ventura at all. A lot more adult than I remember. I remember it always being like a kid's movie, but I don't think it was at all.
I think the way a lot of it is almost strikes back to the old cartoons as well, where it goes over the kids' heads.
I don't know, there's a straight up sex scene in it, though.
Yeah, but for some reason, I don't think that never registered with me that that's what that scene was. Do you know what I mean?
I guess that's true. I probably wouldn't have known.
I really don't remember too much about it. Was it the one with the rhino scene?
No, that's When Nature Calls.
Okay.
This was the one with Dan Marino.
Yeah, I think I most recently saw. Oh, this is the one where he drives the Jeep and he flips it over a million times. He parks it.
No, I think that was When Nature Calls also.
God, I can't.
It's okay.
I can't think of the first one. Isn't he trying to find a whale?
Dolphin.
Yeah, he's trying to find the dolphin for the dolphins.
He finds Captain Winky.
Oh my god. So that was a fun time. And then we watched Royal Tenenbaums. I also had not seen it.
What?
I hadn't seen it. It was one of the only... So way back when I first started getting movies in earnest, I was like, I'm going to watch all of the Wes Anderson movies.
That's number one. You watch that first.
Well, I watched Rushmore first. I started I tried to go back as early as I could.
I mean, you don't have to watch Rushmore.
I liked Rushmore. I can. It's a little rough around the edges, but it's not so bad. But I started with Rushmore, and then I watched, I think, Fantastic Mr. Fox for some reason, and then I just stopped. I just kind of was like, yeah, okay, I get it.
So, did you watch...
Life
other
Aquatic.
Yeah, Life Aquatic. That's one. I mean, I feel like Life Aquatic would be more your stream.
That's the first one that I ever saw by him.
Okay.
So I saw Life Aquatic, and then years later I went back and was like, oh, this guy's got more movies. I should watch some of them.
Yeah, no, Royal Tenenbaums is my first Wes Anderson experience.
That was in our silver screen class in high school.
Moonrise Kingdom?
Yeah, I've seen Moonrise Kingdom. I've seen a lot more since.
Oh, that's him also. Okay, Moonrise Kingdom. I like
You
that.
can really tell. Like, as soon as like you get that very auteur.
Yeah, it's like first shot. It's like shot number one, usually of like a book or something. Almost always, invariably, it's like, oh yeah, here's the cover of a book with like the
I
scene
opened it
title.
with my hands.
Yeah, and here we go.
And here I am reading it. It's like, okay. Yep.
That was a nice touch that I liked, was that the chapters, each chapter was like a page. It showed like a page from a book that says like chapter 3, chapter 4, and then the first couple lines you can read them, and they describe the scene, like they set up the scene as it starts. It was actually kind of neat little thing that I.
They probably just used like the first part of the script.
Yeah, that's what I was figuring. It was pretty much just like the the lines in the script that set up the scene for you. It was always fun. It's always Wes Anderson's always fun. It was pretty much exactly what I expected. It's like a coming of age type of thing. Guy is a piece of shit and then realizes he's a piece of shit and grows up. And pretty much all of them do that. All of the characters do that. And the last thing we watched was When Harry Met Sally, which I also had never seen.
So you took my comments from last week? I talked
Comments?
about it last week.
Did you?
Yeah.
You mentioned, you mentioned it. I think that's why it was like stuck in my head.
Yeah, no, somebody had said something along the lines of like, I think you were saying like there's no like good like love stories, you just don't enjoy it, and I'm like, let me sit you down and we'll watch When Harry Met Sally.
I think that's exactly why.
Holy shit!
I don't think I've seen that
because I had it stuck in my head, and then I kept seeing it pop up when I was going.
Honestly,
through my
the
list of
pinnacle of
movies.
romantic comedies. Like,
yeah, I mean, I had never seen it before and enjoyed the shit out of it. Caroline was like, "Why do you want to watch When Harry Met Sally? You're not gonna like it." I was like, "You don't know me. You don't know shit about me. I'll watch what I want to watch."
Steve was drunk.
I'm drunk every night. No,
Oh my god!
no, I'm not. I'm not actually.
Okay, good.
No.
Good.
Starting that new lore.
Oh god.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, that was my week. What about you, Mike?
Well, what did you think about Harry Met Sally?
It's iconic. I mean, it's just, it was a fun time.
You haven't said whether it's good or bad in your opinion.
In my opinion, it's very good.
Okay.
Absolutely very good. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Especially one thing I was watching for. I don't know why I was watching for it, but their eyes. If you watch in every scene, they focus a lot, I guess, on the eyes, and I guess maybe that's why I picked it up. But like the actors actually, there's a lot that goes like unsaid because it's said with their eyes and with they do a really good job. Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan do a really good job of just conveying so much emotion just with their facial expressions and their eyes. Thought that was really awesome.
Do you think a man and a woman can be friends without any sexual attraction?
I don't know.
Because that was I know you
like
probably haven't seen the movie, Mike. That was the big question.
Okay.
Can man and woman be friends with no sexual attraction?
All right. From my own life experiences, yes. But okay, so that's that.
No, but
premise on the-
truly friends. Just
Yeah,
trying to get something out of
best
the
friends
experience, or like close, or is there always that distance because you're not like actually attracted?
All right, I got you. That's interesting.
Yeah, it brings up a good question, which is surprising in this kind of a movie.
Yeah.
Like I remember like giving myself a good old think, and I'm like, wow, what is this movie?
All right, well, I'll have to watch it one day.
It's definitely a more
With,
thougtle
Yeah.
romantic comedy than you normally get from
I'll
like
watch with Melanie one of these times.
Oh, yeah.
like a Ryan Reynolds flick or something.
I
Nothing. I mean, I love Ryan Reynolds movies, but still, like.
got you. Well, all right. I guess my week, my buddy came up from Virginia over the weekend, so I actually spent the weekend with him because I haven't seen him in like 5 months. And
His name's Ed. Hi, Ed.
Hi, Ed. Okay,
listening.
yeah. Well, we'll completely throw his name out there. I haven't seen him in over 5 months. I've known him since I was like 4 or 5.
So we only talk to him every day.
Yeah, well, now we do. Yeah, now we set up the Minecraft server, which is nice, and I get to talk to him very frequently because he's one of my best friends, and when I went over, I didn't get over there Friday night till almost like 11 o'clock at night, and we stayed up till 5 in the morning because we decided at 1 o'clock in the morning hey, let's watch Hateful Eight.
Oh,
He's never
God.
seen it before.
How is it not in theaters and not in 70 millimeter?
Oh my god, it was still good.
I mean, I'm
Now,
sure it was still amazing, but like,
I mean,
was
of
wondering.
course, some of that gorgeous cinema that he did for some of those shots,
Mhm.
a little bit's lost, but not a lot. Even Ed, as we're all sitting there, was making comments like, wow, that's a really nice shot. That's why some of it takes a little bit longer in the progressions because
Yeah.
you're soaking in that shot at the same time. He loved it. His sister Jackie was trying to watch it with us, but she fell asleep. Like I said, it was 1 in the morning, so we
Yeah.
weren't done till like almost 4:30.
Yeah, that's
And
not only a
Yeah,
long
that's-
long movie, but there are definitely times where you can fall asleep.
yeah,
How
it
do-
was great.
How do they deal with the intermission without like an actual intermission?
There's just no intermission; it just keeps going. Next
So it
chapter
just-
starts and it keeps going.
So
That
it
was the
starts the
most-
next chapter, and then it's
Yes.
like what you missed or whatever
Mhm.
between. Okay.
So there's no intermission even
Right.
coming
That was
up.
the most refreshing thing of that.
that
movie.
was so that. Oh my god,
I
that
liked
was like
it.
the
That was
best
neat.
part.
We should preface this with preface. That all three of us saw this together in what is it, 70
Was it 70
millimeter
millimeter.
in theaters together, and
Yeah.
like they had like a what was it, like 15-minute intermission?
Yeah, there was like a
It
10 or
really
15 minute
nice.
intermission at like the
I got to
exact halfway
pee.
point.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
perfect, especially with like movies that are getting
I
so
think it's
fucking
like,
long now.
Yeah.
Like,
What, 3
Christopher
hours,
Nolan
20
could
minutes?
take a lesson from Tarantino with this
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Like let people just
Let
leave
people
for a
pee.
minute.
Let my people pee.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And it was such a nice way to, because then also we had the time to like discuss it with each other. Well, during that like
Yeah.
the last
Oh,
5
what's
minutes.
gonna
It was
happen?
Perfect. Yeah, what's
Who
gonna
is
happen
it?
next?
Who is it?
Who
Yeah.
like it's
That
perfect.
was. Oh man, yeah, they
was-
should do
it
It
that.
was
great.
so artfully and like so well done. Just like
Yeah.
the movie going experience. He managed to even improve the movie going experience, which is like
Yes.
he doesn't have any real control over that.
And that's what Ed thought. He didn't like it as much as some of the other Quentin Tarantino films. But he's like, I know it's a little bit different for his nature. However, it's still his name all over it with how everything goes. I'm not gonna give anything away, but it's fantastic. He still really liked the film, and I enjoyed it a whole bunch watching it through a second time. And after that, the next night, though during the afternoon, we watched all of Rick and Morty. So, which is gotta be one of my absolute favorite animated series going on right now. I cannot wait for season 3. So now I'm finally caught up. Got to watch all of it and laugh hysterically at everything
Free
because
Rick.
it's Rick and Morty. Yeah, right, Free Rick. Not to give anything away there, but we also watched a show called I think this was the name of it. It was Trailer Park Boys.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. That sounds familiar.
I had never seen it
It's
before.
on Netflix.
And we watched the first couple of episodes because they
I've
just
heard
get out
very
of
good
prison.
things.
It was very good. It was something that I felt it was a little rough of a start, but at the same time, things just flowed well. You weren't stuck on certain topics, and they were kind of following each other in, I don't know, in this right light of all of it. Both making fun of a little bit of the trailer park life, but also, like, here's what's going on. Here's what these guys are trying to do. Here's how they're trying to change their lives because they just got out of prison. And one kind of eloped the other into going into prison from doing bad actions. So they're trying to kind of stay away and not associate with each other. At the same time, they're kind of forced to. And it's neat, and I am interested in watching more of it, to be honest. So it was neat. And I think the only other thing I've really watched is they released another Overwatch trailer for another one of the characters, or I guess a little animated short, rather, for their character of Bastion. And it's the best one they've done.
By far.
By far, and it's you're following a robot and a bird and their interactions, and at the same time you're also seeing that's what's a robot have PTSD, and it's very, very interesting. I really like their approach to a lot of it. It's strong. Every one of their animated shorts, I feel, has been pretty strong.
Yeah,
with everything they've gone
they
through.
do really great things with that story. For like a what could have been just a throwaway game, they add so much
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, and it's you almost forget that you're playing all these characters that they're people, but at the same time at one point they're all soldiers. So you kind of see everything.
We're all soldiers now.
soldiers.
Yeah, but you kind of get to see everything that these guys have gone through. That makes them who they are, kind of thing, in a slight abstract sense, because they're only 8 minutes long, but they're so good. So that's really it. That's all I've really been watching. I mean, I've watched some nonsense stuff with my dad on TV in passing, but that's really like some 007 against like some of the old ones, like
Yeah,
Sean
they're
Con
always good classics.
Sean Connery's still my favorite by a wide margin compared to the other ones.
Good old fashioned womanizing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some though there's one that starts off. Was it Christopher? No, I can't remember the gentleman name, but he did a 007 as well, and it starts off terribly. Like there's the bald guy that's supposed to be Doctor Evil in
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers. Yes, you see him in the wheelchair, and he kind of gets him with the helicopter and all that. That's a very weak beginning. I do not like that Bond at all or that movie. It's
Is it
rough.
Pierce Brosnan? One of the 90s Bonds?
No, he actually did decent. He doesn't bother me.
He has the one scene that's always lampooned with, he's got like oh my God. He's on like a parachute and then he gets onto like a surfboard or something and he rides these waves into like an iceberg or something. It's fucking absurd and the CGI is awful.
Yeah.
It just looks so dumb.
he was always, I felt, he didn't bother me too much. Connery's still my favorite though.
Connery's the best. What about you, Kyle?
Yeah, how you, bud?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went to the movie theater, and I saw a little movie called Suicide Squad.
Do you feel betrayed? Everybody else feels betrayed.
I liked it.
That's
Good.
refreshing to hear because I've been really scared because I've been excited for it, but I still haven't seen it yet.
All right,
Same
I want to
boat.
clarify. It is not a good movie. Like,
I
it's not a
figured
good
it
movie, and there's
wouldn't be.
so many problems with the plot, and like there and there. You can pick apart the plot for ages, but at the end of the day, it's fun. Like
That's all that matters.
everyone on screen was goofy. They had dumb moments. There were some moments where like literally a character would get some like stupid development out of nowhere and he's like, oh, we're really connecting as a team, like we're a family, and it's just like wow, that line was so bad, but like I'm enjoying myself because I'm smiling. I'm like, wow, that was so bad.
It was pretty cool when they were all fighting together.
Like, I could pick apart the plot forever, but that's
Was it
you can watch a million other videos on that. Like here, I enjoyed myself. I've liked the idea of people like Captain Boomerang who are like these stupidly useless people.
Yeah.
And guess what? In the movie, they're stupidly useless, and I love it. I absolutely love it.
Would you say that some of the conflict was what a lot of people have brought up, that the fact that there was two different plots that they tried to kind of match, or two different scripts? Rather?
Oh yeah, the editing was
Is
a
it-
total mess. Like you can definitely tell, like even in the middle of certain scenes, like where like they're completely different shoots.
Okay.
Like
That's all I'm going to really bring up on that aspect, because I'm
Yeah.
happier that you took away a positive.
yeah, the editing was really here and there, but like if you're just going there with a group of friends, and you just want to rail on something a bit, like go to a showtime that's not too busy,
Mhm.
so you can lean over to your buddy. It's like, wow, that was stupid, or just like what.
All right.
Yeah. You'll definitely enjoy it then. The only other thing I watched was Ultraman Orb.
Okay.
Ultraman.
So,
okay.
alright, Ultraman is tokusatsu. It's like Power Rangers. But Ultraman is basically a guy who turns into a giant guy and fights like Godzillas. Essentially.
All right.
So it is the
does he have, like,
second
powers?
half of Power Rangers. It's just Megazord fights.
Okay.
But this is like the 40-year anniversary or something like that. So like they did like a very recent one. So like it's ongoing right now and it's up to like 8 episodes. I don't know how I can describe to you what a Megazord fight is like with a budget, and you have like two dudes in suits fighting in a miniature city on just money thrown at it. But it is amazing. Like
yeah.
that was by far the most entertaining thing I've watched probably in like a month.
Ooh.
Like, I loved it. It was really fun. The characters were great. It was like real goofy. And it's just like they slow down the movement so like it seems like, I don't know, the big creatures that are like swinging their arms
Big,
around and
heavy
punching
swing
each
kind
other.
of thing.
Yeah, and like, all right, you really get into it. Like at first you're like, it's dudes in suits, but then he punches them real hard, and you're like, yeah. It's like that weird thing. I got the same thing when watching Pacific Rim,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, oh yeah, it's robots fighting. And then they pull out the sword, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna hit him with the sword. And it's just like, you lose yourself a bit, and the kid comes out in you, and you're just like, fuck yeah. He's punching the big monster in the face. Oh, he knocked over a building. They also show you what life is like in a city that gets attacked all the time. Like, it starts off with, like, this kid and his mom just reading a book. And it's like, oh, yeah, that's nice. And the kid just points, like, what's that? And there's, like, a giant death swirling cloud. And then buildings are just going flying by them. And then she's just like, oh, my God, we need to do something. I don't know, run? It's just like, oh, man. It was really enjoyable.
That's
Are
fantastic.
they ever just like, oh, great, another monster attack.
It's not
Here
like...
it comes.
They don't... It's not like that meta.
Okay.
It is like... it's hard to say. It's not really so much as a like self-reflecting meta in this one as it is, maybe let's take this from a different point of view.
Okay.
Because like we don't know anything about the guy who turns into Ultraman, but like he can turn into different Ultramans because like it's a 40 season, like they've had different runs of it.
Mm-hmm.
So he can like, oh, let's do the 40s Ultraman and the 60s Ultraman fused together, and I'm new kind of Ultraman, and I punch with fire for some reason. It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, really fun. They threw the money at it, so it looks fantastic.
Okay.
Definitely, like, check it out if you want to get a laugh. That's about as much as I can recommend there.
I'll definitely have to. I like a lot of your recommendations, so...
Yeah, it's definitely a good time. It might actually go on the list if you guys don't check it out.
All right. I'm down.
I need to watch a bit more of it, though. I only watched one episode so far. Or two? I don't remember if I watched one or two. It was late. Yeah, I guess we'll roll that into... I guess I'll give a quick synopsis on Boku no Hero.
Yeah,
So if you
please
don't know what it's at, it's also known as My Hero Academia.
Right.
It's a story about a world where 80% of the world's population is like develops into superpowered people. So like around kindergarten, you get your superpowers. But our main character, who like idolizes heroes and like studies them and writes them down in books, never develops one. And he's like, shit. All I've ever wanted to be is a superhero. What do? And it's a very, very, like, gripping story. You might cry a little bit, guys. Like, I know that sounds weird to say, but, like, this gets you. This hits you in that, like...
Right in the feels.
Right in the feels. Right in that, like, guy struggling to do something he can't do kind of thing. It's just like, oh.
Does he turn to science to solve his problem?
You'll find out.
I guess I will.
All right, guys. We'll be back after we watch.
Yep.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Hey! Wake up! Hey! Thought we lost you there! Well, looks like you're moving around all right. Sorry about that back there. I didn't mean to get you caught up in my justicing. Usually I pay more attention to keeping bystanders safe, but it turns out this city sewer system is pretty difficult to navigate. Anyway, you were a big help. Thank you. I've captured the evildoer.
I'm the most amazing hero in the entire world. All might, the real thing, in the flesh, standing right in front of me. He looks so much cooler in person! Holy crap, I gotta get an autograph. I've got a pen around here somewhere. Please sign my notebook. He already did! Thank you so much. This will be an heirloom, a family treasure passed down for generations to come.
All right, guys. We're back from Boku no Hero Academia. I'm pretty sure we said about 6 words in total while watching.
Yeah, that kept my attention the whole time. Damn it, Kyle!
I'm just gonna let you guys talk right now.
I hate you because now I have another show. I want to sit and watch the rest of it, like Magi. Motherfucker!
I warned you.
It's so good. It's. I don't think there's anything I don't like about it so far. Like, oh Christ, Steve, you keep going too.
It's we keep coming back to it. It's hard to talk. It's hard to say.
Fine,
stuff
I will
good
start
stuff.
you guys
No,
up.
no.
Okay.
No. I'll think of.
It's
think
not
of
one.
something.
It's not quite. I can't call him the underdog because he's not even in the category that would be considered an underdog because some people have stupid powers. Those would be the ones I guess you could consider in that kind of category. He's like a non-competitor. Like he's on a sideline that's
Yeah, like he's
now
not even.
you see trying to raise into something and compete with them. So it's like something even different. Ah, man.
Let's say.
I love the
No.
portrayal of an American.
Yeah,
As a
yeah.
superhero.
The portrayal of an American superhero is pretty much.
They always
You'd
draw.
expect, I guess.
They always draw the strong American the same way with the same face, almost all the time. So this one, he's smiling the whole time, but it's like slightly
always
wider
looks-
face, the big jaw, and
He
everything.
always looks pissed off. Actually, I never really see it as a smile. He looks almost menacing, to me anyway. But I kind of bizarrely, I think the most interesting thing that I got out of the entire the 2 episodes anyway that we watched were how everybody else deals with having powers and how like a lot of people have powers that are just pretty much useless. Like the kid's mom can pick up small items, but it kind of takes her a couple tries. Like she can't really
light
do it.
items and
Yeah,
towards
it's
her.
only light items and only towards herself, and she kind of like yo-yos the shit to her. And it's like that's pretty useless. What are you gonna do
Yeah.
with that? It's just interesting to see, the kind of everyday people go about their lives and just be like, oh, someone's tearing up downtown again. I guess I'll just wait for someone else to show up and deal with it.
Yeah, the one guy's calling work, saying the train's gonna be late because
Yeah, the
there's
train's
someone,
gonna be
like,
late because
there's a giant guy destroying some stuff because he's
a guy was trying to snatch somebody's purse, and then he got cornered and turned into a giant wolf thing or rat thing or whatever he was. So it's interesting to just kind of see, kind of like what you were saying before about the show that you were watching.
Oh, Ultraman?
Yeah, Ultraman, where it's like they give you that kind of perspective of like, what is it like for people just living in a city that gets blown to shit every couple of days?
Yep.
Yeah, he's someone that. It's interesting seeing how everyone's telling him he can't do this, but yet he keeps trying because it's always something that's his dream.
That's, I feel, the main pull of this series is just like Deku's drive to just be what he can't be.
So I was really expecting him to like, since he studies everybody and he's got his notebook full of all these notes about all the different heroes that he's seen and everything. I was really expecting him to, when he charges out to his heroic charge, to just kind of start like ordering the heroes around and telling them what they could do to help the situation, since none of them could really figure it out. But he knows like what everybody's best at, and he knows who's there, and he's taking notes on everybody.
That is
And then
something
he just-
he's rather good at. I would
Does
say
that
that.
like come up later? Because I was
Sort of.
expecting that, especially when he was like, "Oh, page 25," and then he just throws his books at him. I was like, wait, what?"
But really, who's going to listen to a little kid, you know?
Yeah. I guess that's fair. Like nobody.
Because they're sort of young, like what, third years? So what are they, like third graders?
Oh, no, he's
older.
he's
junior
about to
high.
go into high school.
Yeah.
Oh, all
13,
right.
14.
I guess when they
So then
call
he'd
them
be
all
eighth
third
grade.
years.
I think Deku's 14.
Okay, so never mind then. All right.
So, one of the things I love about this world is the whole the foot joint thing. How like there's an actual physical like defect about people that you can see whether you have. They call them quirks in this, like the powers, where like you don't have a joint in your foot. I find that really weird. Like
In the
there's-
pinky toe.
yeah, like there's an actual physical trait. Be like, oh yeah, you definitely have powers. Just wait.
That is weird.
Yeah,
It's like those kind of bizarre. Especially because like they mention that they don't know why people have powers, and they're just kind of like, yeah, it seems like if you've got powers, you don't have one of those joints. So if you've got one of those joints, you don't have powers.
I also like when he meets the one that's American is All Might. I
All
think
Might.
his name. How he's very different in person than he is when he's always watching the sidelines of him do everything.
Right.
But when he actually gets to sit and talk with him for a minute, it's very different. He's very much of a different person. I've
well, almost physically.
well
Yeah.
physically yeah. Well, besides that whole part of it, there's
Don't meet your
I believe
heroes.
a lot of people are that way too.
That's a very big part of this.
Yeah, that's like a very real thing too. That's a lot of people that have met someone that they would idolize or consider a hero, and it's something like that where it's almost like
It's also
what they expect.
it's also kind of funny seeing. It's like one of those things you always wonder like what would Superman be as a kid, and then there's fucking like Smallville, I guess talked about that, or Megamind also discusses that where you've got I don't know if you guys have seen Megamind.
Oh, I've seen Megamind. It's great.
No, actually, I haven't.
You haven't seen it?
I think I've seen a clip. Like I think I sat down and watched a little bit of it, but I don't know. I don't think I was really interested.
And Megamind starts off and they show the two, the main good guy and the main villain are growing up, and they were both aliens. The main good guy is like Superman basically, and then the main bad guy is this nerdy alien who just kind of he's Megamind, like that's his thing. He uses science to make stuff, and the superhero is just like a dick. He's just like a big dick. I'm like, that's kind of like what you sort of expect from like kids who have powers who are like stronger than everybody else. They're just gonna be dicks all the time. I feel like you kind of get some.
Well,
of
you
that
run into that with Bakugo, the explosion guy.
Yeah.
So here's my question: do you think Bakugo's a dick?
Is he? Yeah, as the
He's kind of like a Malfoy type character.
Yeah, but to say, or can you kind of relate with him? The guy's striving to be top of a class, and here's this guy with no quirks, like the shitty kid who's also applying to the same school as you. It's like he's going to make your reputation look bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Right, yeah, it's like a situational dickhead.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
There's definitely like a Malfoy, Harry Potter.
And like the two
dynamic.
characters have a history together too,
Mm-hmm.
as you saw from like just one of the flashbacks. The manga handles their relationship a lot better. Like if you guys like continue watching, like they really make him into this ball of anger all the time. He is like that in the manga, but like you get more reasoning behind it.
Oh, one thing too, he was a little more controlled after the whole incident. Like he confronted our main character, but he's
got a shit ton of pride. That's why as soon as he's
away.
like, I didn't need your help and you didn't save me.
Yeah. It was good.
He's a little shit. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like I said,
but
he's a dickhead, but I guess he's trying to do.
So here's my question for both of you. I want like each of you individually to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you think it's going from here?
Where do you think it's going? Well, the way they left out the second episode, it's kind of like he's going to be somehow involved with the superheroes where he almost becomes one himself.
Right.
Whether he actually does or not, I'm not sure. But the way I see it, he's going to have a heavy involvement with them. So, I mean, the one that's considered one of the best, he's met, talked with, and now had a couple of serious conversations where he sought out our character afterwards, even though they weren't there, and he has no obligation realistically to go to him. So I think there's going to be more development between that, and it might be like coaching him to go through with dealing with the fact that he has no quirks, but yet he's not useless. There's more things that he can do to almost be a hero, although there's not the physical nature to it, ability-wise. I don't know. That's kind of what I see.
Steve, where do you think this is going?
I still kind of feel like what I said earlier about it's going to be almost about him discovering that his I'm using air quotes for those listening, his quirk, in quotes, is that he studies everybody and he knows better than anybody else all of the weaknesses of the enemies and the strengths of the heroes, and he knows how to apply them. And then on top of that, he just wants to help people. I imagine that's going to get explored a lot more.
Oh yeah, he definitely has like the hero trait of just running in blindly.
Yeah.
Kind of like a master strategist.
Yeah. Yes.
Kinda
Yeah.
deal.
Like a
Okay. I
general.
can see that.
So I don't know if you guys want to, but I'm going to assign some homework. You're going to have to watch the third episode.
Okay.
It just has to be that. It doesn't have to be anything more, because it'll tell you how the rest of the plot's going to kind of pan out. Because I like both of your guys' ideas, but it's not how they go about it.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'm
definitely
intrigued.
check that out. This anime goes great places. Like, just you guys saw like all the other heroes in the intro. You meet a shit ton more people. All of them have amazing stories. If you're really into it, read the manga.
All right.
That's still ongoing. But yeah. I guess I should talk about how I feel watching it again.
Yeah, go for it. You said
This is like my third or fourth time watching the first episode just because I'm like, watch this to like everyone I know.
Catch anything that you didn't notice previously, or like, I feel like it's not really one of those. You don't really catch it.
There are a couple things here and there. A lot of relationships, like, this is like a real base, like, obviously for Deku and All Might.
Mm-hmm.
But you're going to see a lot of stuff, surprisingly, between Deku and his mom.
Okay.
The mom's kind of a hard sell on everything. Like, obviously, mom's very overprotective, and if you want to go into this hero stuff, she's going to be very like,
right.
you have no power, stop. And the whole series is almost a relationship between him and Bakugo, the explosion guy.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Yeah, like there's going to be a lot of play there.
Like in all of the Pokemon games, you versus Shithead. Or whatever you
it's
chose to name
exactly
it.
that. One thing that's also interesting that I liked, that I don't think I noticed in the first scene where he's like defending the kid on the playground or whatever, it shows Bakugo with like two other people, like a fat kid with wings and like another guy with like elongated fingers.
Yeah.
He still hangs out with the elongated fingers guy, but not the fat guy.
Yeah,
fat guy.
Catch that.
Fat guy wasn't around.
What happened to the fat kid?
Yeah. I want to know. I want the side story. Where's that Ova?
Nova that just follows the fat kid with wings. I did like this is a little bit off of the off of like the subject matter of the story, but in some of the I guess shots, like when he's trying to explain to All Might, or he's trying to ask All Might, can I even be a hero? And he kind of reaches out to him, and they show just a shot of his hand over with the sky as the backdrop, and then his hand slowly drops, and then I feel like most things would cut at that point. So pretty much once the hand is off the screen, you're going to cut away to something else. But they hang on the sky for a while, like another 2-3 seconds. Like it stays there for a couple seconds longer than you'd expect it to. And they did that a couple times. I'm drawing blanks on other examples, but I know they did that a couple times throughout it. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, they do a lot to like really kind of grip your emotions each time.
Yeah, it was a lot. I felt like it made it a lot more powerful.
Yeah, they like going back to All Might each time, like calling himself pathetic because he can't hop in. Like every time it's going back and forth and back. I think he calls himself pathetic like 4 or 5 or 6 times.
Right.
At
and
least.
It's just like, man, this scene right now, everyone's feeling absolutely shitty about themselves, and like.
And then there's Deku, who's just like,
yeah, that moment where it
running.
pops. And like, they're really good at that throughout the whole series. It's just a lot of tension building or like emotional building. They love flashbacks in like the first couple episodes. Yeah, it's gonna get a little bit until about episode 5 that'll really pan off. But
they did it well. Like they played it to their advantage. Like with the whole flashing back to his mom saying that she's sorry when what he really wants her to say is, and then it cuts, and you never find out. That happened in the first episode, and you don't even find out until the very end of the second.
Right.
What it is that he wanted her to say instead. And they delivered it really well because he obviously he hears what he wants to hear from All Might instead of his mother. Be interesting to see that play out later, actually. Since you mentioned that it develops the relationship with the mom, it'd be interesting to hear.
There's something that the anime hasn't quite hit yet where All Might and his mom have a sit-down conversation and she like rips him one. It's like, my kid used to be safe. Like that kind of conversation is just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like All Might's non-hero for her.
Oh yeah,
this is not even my final form.
And
coughing blood, and he has like a skull.
His eyes are like black, but his eyes.
That
are
was
like
one of the designs
green.
that first got me into it. Like I saw pictures of this, I'm like, what the fuck is up with that guy?
He looks like, oh my god, the black eyes with the green pupils. Somebody in Dragon Ball Z has like the same kind of setup. I want to say it was Cell. I think it was Cell. One of his forms.
I think like the second form or something like that.
Just not that they're even comparable, because they're just not. This is not the same level of DBZ at all. But
I mean, they're not charging up for 20 minutes or a whole episode or nothing.
You're not watching the episodes at 1.5 or 2 times speed just because nothing happens.
This was enjoyable. I would definitely recommend this to people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm definitely going to look more.
This is also one of those good ones that's like, if you don't typically, or if you want like something to give to somebody who doesn't usually watch a whole lot of anime, I feel like this would be pretty.
You have a friend that likes comics, you go.
Yeah.
You got a friend who likes the Marvel movies?
Yeah.
You go.
This would be great for anybody who's into superheroes.
Have you watched it dubbed? We watch it subbed, but...
I've watched a couple scenes dubbed. Mm-hmm. I can say if you have a friend who won't be into the subtitles, go dub.
Go dub?
This is a quality dub. Like, I can definitely like get behind it.
Okay.
I wanted to show you guys it subbed just because that's what I'm used to. I feel very uncomfortable like not watching it subbed, but go ahead, watch it dubbed. No problems there.
All right.
One thing you should not watch dubbed is Escaflowne. That is some garbage dub, I will say.
Oh God.
I don't think in the first 2 episodes. I don't think I even mentioned this. I actually continued watching Escaflowne, a little bit anyway, because I needed something to put on that wasn't going to distract me from the game that I was playing. And the dub is so bad. I don't think you guys met the leader of like the robot army or the invisible army. It's this woman, and in the sub she's got a like menacing and like cold, calculating kind of voice. In the dub, she sounds like a shitty fucking 12-year-old boy. Oh my God, it's so bad.
Wow.
And then they just bring up, I don't remember if I mentioned it off the podcast or on the podcast last week or before or what, but in the dub, they do a lot of talking when there's actually silence in the sub. And the stuff that they make her say when she's not actually talking is so fucking retarded. And so it's all like, burn, yeah, burn, die. And I'm like, she's not saying any of this. She's like cold and calculated. You're ruining the character. It's not even that. I don't recommend continuing to watch Escaflowne. I don't recommend that.
What if I want to watch it subbed?
You want to watch it subbed? It's okay.
Yeah, I had to look up some clips for like the little audio spot. There's a fight in there that was pretty fucking cool.
Escaflowne can turn into a dragon. I learned that.
What?
Yeah, it just turns into a dragon. It's a Gundam that can turn into a dragon, but no big deal. Fly away.
No big deal.
It's interesting. There's also a scene, I think I told you guys off the podcast, where she gets her first kiss. It's just like on the cheek, and it's
it Senpai?
It's a guy who looks exactly like Senpai, but he's on Gaia.
Oh no!
Yeah. But and it was all just.
Wait, did she run the mile first?
No, she did not. But it was all just like for show, because they didn't. He didn't want the main bad chick, the evil person, to know that she's not from Guy or whatever, so he tells a lie and makes up a story about it. And he just kisses her on the cheek. And she spends the next, 2 episodes going on about how he's the one. He's the one.
Oh, I might have to watch this. That's amazing.
But there actually was a point where she brings up, she's, self-aware enough to be like, but just yesterday I was freaking out about Amano Senpai. I was like, I have some respect for you now. It's like, am I really this fickle?
Maybe I'm just a teenager.
Yeah. So it might actually be. It's still. I don't want to say that it's good, but it's
kept your interest.
It's kept my interest. That's a good way to put it. It's kept my interest. It's probably going to get replaced by My Hero Academia. Probably not going to keep watching.
All right, let's hit this machine. We forgot to do it.
Yeah, we forgot to do it beforehand.
And I realized that, so...
can we just say that this is the one?
No, we have to hit the button. All right, ready?
Yep.
Hey, you got yourself again.
Yeah, Kyle, you got another one. Awesome.
Or you could get... I mean, I don't know. If you turn around, it changed.
It seemed to
I don't know why it changed.
Oh.
You look again.
What?
It's you again.
It kept loading, I guess, and it redid it again.
Which one are we going with? I guess the first.
Do the first one.
Do the first one, yeah, because we don't need 2 good ones.
So,
we need some pain.
For some reason, this thing likes last season's anime. And,
okay. Last season's fall collection.
It's an anime called Myogia,
Yoshia.
aka The Lost Village.
Oh boy.
Anyone who knows what I'm talking about is already collectively sighing.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I believe one of you have watched an anime called Another.
I have. A little bit, anyway.
So this is by the same dudes who made that.
Okay.
Oh, I've heard.
Now
of
take-
I don't remember hating Another.
Take all your pretenses of Another, open that window, and just throw them out.
Oh, okay.
that.
So sitting there like,
I should say this is on my
promising.
bad list.
Yeah,
Because it is an amazing premise
Done horribly wrong.
that, like, not only shits the bed, but shits all over itself and starts eating the shit.
And then vomiting, and then it
And then it
it's just like a
kills
vicious
itself.
cycle. Okay.
Oh, God. I really hate
It's
myself
for
with the
the
bad
puppets.
list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were saying that you got some real stinkers.
Oh,
on
you're
there.
gonna, like... See, you guys get the easy part. You get, like, the first 2 episodes. You get all the promising stuff.
Have you watched the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing.
Oh no.
Because
God.
it dangles, like, possibility in front of you the whole time. Hey, this could be good. Oh, could it be good? Let me watch more episodes. Each week, I couldn't stop myself from watching the episodes when they came out. I'm like, oh my God, is it going to be good? Is it going to be good?
And then it's
When's the good thing going to happen?
Just keep waiting for something to happen.
It's a lot like Lost.
I was actually just thinking about that. I mean, I never gave Lost the time of day, really. even when
Yeah,
it
but
was showing,
it's
but
set up the same
I
way.
remember
I didn't
hearing.
actually watch Lost, but it's like, we're in a weird place. Weird things are happening. Why are weird things happening?
And then like
And
no
they just
answers.
dangle that in front of your face the whole time.
Lost. I watched the first season of it, and that was it. Immediately died of interest after that.
Oh God, I'm so sorry, you guys.
It's okay, Kyle.
Yeah, see, the second thing that come up was Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, and that's... Honestly, you guys probably wouldn't have liked that either, but...
Hey, you know the our machine's giving you a little love this time.
yeah. Alright. So, check the email.
You checked? Did we have an email?
Oh.
No. You got me excited.
Damn
It's
it!
like I was hoping we were gonna be able to read an email. It's like, you guys suck. Eat shit and die.
If you want to tell us to go eat shit and die, email us at the102cast@gmail.com.
Maybe we won't feel so alone.
So
Maybe we'll actually
Throwing our
do it.
feelings out into the empty void. No feedback.
Alright, guys, we have a Twitter, at the102cast. We have Facebook, 102cast. You get the idea. Next
We
week,
have a podcast. The
Oh,
102
yeah.
cast.
comment, rate on iTunes. We'll read it live if we get one.
If
please
we ever
and thank
get
you.
one.
Yeah, we're getting downloads. We know you're listening.
Yeah, we know you're out there.
Dude, listen, you little shits.
So you know
please.
what? You know what? We're just gonna wait for you to open up your email right now. Send us
Just
a little
send us-
email. Says, hey,
Even though this
Steve.
isn't live.
hey, Steve. You know,
Oh,
I
tell
don't
them that.
I don't really like your opinions on Escaflowne. You know,
It's actually a really fantastic show.
yeah. And I
grew
love
up on Escaflowne.
I love the dub. Go die. I want that exact email.
Oh, yes. Yes.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
See yas.
Catch you on the flippity flop.
Flip flop. Flip. Flip.
Flop.
Flip.
Flippity.
Oh,
fuck it.
fuck it.